Chicago, New York, and El Paso. Tonight, 3 cities on restrictions, curfews, amid concerns about lockdowns across the country. Will lockdowns be coming to you? And how can you mentally prepare for those issues of lockdown amid stimulus relief? Tonight, a message of positive focus. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to have a great evening. And this is Purple Power. Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Purple Power. I'm so glad you joined me in a night in which a lot of things are going to unfold. But one of the things we're going to stay focused upon here is staying positive. And what I want to, in a message tonight, is keep you grounded, positive, and focused amid a lot of stress that could be coming tomorrow on election night. Tonight, I'm going to refocus you on what to think about later this week and after tomorrow's results, and also as we face the days coming of the holidays. All right, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that many insiders believe that elections per se, despite any year, creates a lot of stress for people. You're rooting for someone and the person may not win, or you may see someone that you did not want to win, really did not want to win a race. And that could cause tension, stress, anxiety, and more. But this year we have an extra level. That's COVID. And tonight, we have a level on top of that as well. The concerns about new lockdowns, and if you're in certain cities, already curfews. Chicago, El Paso, and Newark are among the new cities facing restrictions tonight. Let me deal with the situation first, and then we'll deal with the analysis of it shortly. First, this is according to Fortune magazine tonight. Chicago bars, restaurants are forced to shut down 2 hours early. Mayor Lori Lightfoot has ordered non-essential businesses to close between 10 p.m. and 6 p.m. In effort to bring infection rates down. Essential businesses like grocery stores, pharmacies, restaurants with takeout delivery are exempt from the curfew. Dr. Allison Arodwadi, head of the city's health department, said the more rollbacks, including closing restaurants, will happen if the city's positivity rate of 8% is reached. According to Chicago's COVID tracker, the city's positivity rate is currently 7.1% and rising. Over in Texas, El Paso began a 2-week night curfew of 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. to keep the spread. El Paso has seen a 160% increase in positivity rate. And in Newark, on another side of the country, is reinstated a curfew for non-essential businesses from 8 p.m. on. All gas stations must close at 8 p.m. Restaurants must end indoor dining by 8 p.m. and outdoor dining by 11 p.m. What's important to understand is that those are curfews, but lockdowns are more serious. Lockdowns mean you can't leave your home, means your place of business is closed, means you can't make more money, means that you're waiting for a stimulus check and the stimulus check is not coming, and then you're told to do something that didn't pay you a stimulus check last time. Let me explain the analysis and then let me deal with the resolution, the solution. Well, in the spring, we know what happened. And what's different this fall or this winter, if you get a new lockdown, is that you've gone through one before and you financially know its impact upon you. You know that you went through a lockdown and you either got no stimulus check or one stimulus check. You know you got enhanced unemployment benefits delayed. You know that UI and PUA may not have been paid initially and got delayed. You know that EIDL grants got delayed and EIDL loans got delayed. So you had a lot of uncertainty when you were given the last lockdown, and ultimately you may have gotten the money, but you didn't get it early on. Well, as we face the new round of lockdowns, those plans for third stimulus, December, January, February stimulus, aren't there. So as the Purple Power family, what I want you to be informed about in this video is staying positive, because there will be, first, stress levels because of the election tomorrow night. What I want you to do is sort of distract yourself and ignore anything that is hate related or negativity or partisan. It's going to be out there. Oh my God, I can't believe he won. Oh my Lord, I can't believe she won. I don't like her at all. No, or I'm moving to England. I can't stand this country. Or, oh my God, we're all going to be in so much trouble. That person got reelected. Ultimately, what's important to understand is that every year we have this, and there's always someone that says, I'm leaving the United States, or the whole world is coming to an end. The bottom line is that elected officials are partisan, but in the scheme of things, they still act partisan, whether they are Republican or Democrat. They still battle every tooth and nail and every language of every bell. So I don't want you to think that anything has catastrophic results to you if you see an election result tonight that just tomorrow night that's just like, oh my God, what's going on? Whether it's a social issue or a financial issue or a political issue. And then there's this. Holidays are upon us, and I'm starting to see comments of people talking about the holidays in the stimulus coverage, in the EIDL or the PUA or the PPP coverage. They're talking about the impact upon holidays. What's important to understand is that holiday depression is real. And last night I did a video, or yesterday in the middle of the day, I did a video that talked about stimulus and depression. And people reached out to me in DM and said, thank you for doing that video. So I want to do a little bit more about that tonight. Ultimately, stimulus and depression is real. And I don't want you to think that if you're suffering depression, it is unique to you. It happens to a lot of people. And then there's holiday depression. So you can understand we have one level of depression possible, and then you have holiday depression that could be upon you as well. WebMD does an analysis about holiday depression and says that in a time of year filled with parties, celebrations, and social gatherings, many people feel sadness, self-reflection, loneliness, or anxiety. Sadness is a truly personal feeling. What makes one personally feel sad may not be the same reason for another person, which is fascinating. Ultimately, if you feel anxious about one thing and you see someone in the comments not feeling anxious, you shouldn't feel distant from that person, because everyone reacts to things differently. Examples of holiday sadness can be more than just you're sad. They could be stress, fatigue, unrealistic expectations, over-commercialization, financial stress, and inability to be with one's family and friend. And how do you feel that? How do you balance that? And people who do view themselves as depressed may involve headaches, drinking, overeating, or insomnia. So WebMD gives a great analysis of how to combat holiday stress, and I want to share this with you. And then I have a personal message for you. Don't please make these are 19 tips for coping with holiday stress and depression from WebMD. Make realistic expectations for the holiday season. Make realistic goals for yourself. Pace yourself. Don't take on more responsibilities than you can. Make a list and prioritize important activities. Be realistic about what you can do. Live and enjoy the present. Look to the future with optimism. Don't set yourself up for disappointment. If you feel lonely, volunteer some time to help others. I love that one. Find holiday activities that are free. Limit your alcohol, excessive drinking. Try something new. I love that one too. Spend some time with someone supportive and caring people. Reach out and make new friends. That's a very good one. Make contact with a long lost friend or relative and spend some holiday to share. Make time for yourself. I love that. Let others share the responsibilities of holiday tasks and keep track of your holiday spending. I love that. Now, a couple of personal messages that I want to share with you. I want to share with you how I always think that people should deal with situations, and then I want to reflect on some things. First, I always say that exercise is one of the best ways to deal with stress, whether it's financial stress, stimulus stress, or holiday stress. It can be a walk, a brisk walk. Sitting around and sitting inside is not particularly good, and especially in the winter months. If you are unable to go out, and I'm telling you, go out and walk around, that might not be a reality. So, some of the choices are inside, do some chores, clean up some space, move around some stuff that you haven't moved, do some winter cleaning. That actual movement of your body helps get your blood going. Sitting and sitting and sitting is not a good thing. I should tell you. I should know. I sit, a couple hours per day recording for you. Sitting is not a good thing. A sedimentary environment leads to a lot of things. Next, drink lots of water. It's always important to drink lots of water because dehydration kicks in the winter months, especially with heat, especially with cold temperatures. So do that. Third, don't compare yourself to other people. People love to compare themselves to other people. And what's important to realize is you're you and you're you for a reason. Next, don't feel that you have to be the same way all the time. And that's an important message that I always try to tell people. If last year was a year that you were married and you were on vacation and this year you're divorced, don't say that, well, last year was this and last year was that. Ultimately, not every year is great. And the fact is that you're there, you're healthy, and that you're sound is the most important thing. And not every year is defined by what the prior year had. You know, Halloween was just 2 days ago. And I love Halloween, as you can tell. I really love Halloween. I do it up big time. And this year, you could not have a social gathering for Halloween. And they had said to people, don't go out on Halloween, don't walk around, don't move, stay locked in your place. When I heard that, I'm like, what do you mean don't walk around? I can walk around any day of the week. Why can't I walk around on Halloween? Needless to say, I walked around on Halloween and I loved it. And what was important was it was something that I valued and something that I really enjoyed. And it was a modification. It was a modification from seeing hundreds of thousands of people to seeing 100 so people walking around, but it still worked for me. And ultimately, the impact of a lockdown where you can't do the things you would normally do may cause you some stress, but it's just a year. We're not going to be doing this next year. So if your routine for Thanksgiving is to go to do this and then go to do that, and you always do this and you always do that, and you can't do it this year, don't reflect on the fact that you can't. We already know you can't. You tell yourself, I can't do this year. Big deal. Next year, I'll do it, and I'll do it bigger and bolder, and I'll have a lot of fun doing it. Because that's what is life's about. We already know this holiday season will be different. We already know you won't do the events and the celebrations or the things that you would normally do the way you do them. Whether it's baking the same casserole or doing the same walk to that local store that you like on the night before Christmas, things will be different. But next year we'll be back to normal. The virus is not going to be going on for 2 years. That's just simply not happening. So there's that message. Next, I want you to understand that there may be people that are around you or people that you know of someone that ultimately does not cope as well as you and I do. I don't want that to impact you. And I ultimately believe that I will see in the comments this winter, comments like I saw in the spring. If you're new to this channel, I have dealt with that subject matter. I have, if you don't know, when I read comments on air, I read them cold read. I don't know what you said ahead of time. I don't prepare myself based upon the cold read. In fact, most of the analyst reports from Wall Street, I cold read as well. But when I cold read them on air, you see my reaction. Well, if you're an original viewer of this channel from day one, I had cold reads where people ended life. And it was not my viewer, and it's not my viewers' family members, but they were people that they knew. And ultimately, what's important to understand is that those people thought it was important to share that with me. What's important to understand is those events will happen. And you may wish to share it, but the important thing is that you are strong. And that by sharing that, I don't want you to feel weaker. I want you to feel more confident with who you are. If there's a person down the street that's having problems, certainly help them. If there's a person down the street that needs someone to talk to, certainly help them. But don't believe because they're that way, you should be that way. Don't believe because they're having issues, ultimately you're having issues. What's important to understand is that stimulus may make people stressful, that the holiday season may make people stressful, and that lockdowns really make people stressful. Imagine staying in your home when you can't do the things you want to do. But we're going to get through this. And the important thing you have to understand is that the original spirit of this channel from day one was helping people. It still is. Keeping people motivated. It still is. Keeping people informed. It still is. And helping one another. Helping one another. Not just me helping you, but you helping others. Remember that person in South Florida who I told about grants, and she found a grant for her friends for rent, Social Security. She found a grant for herself for rent, and she's on Social Security, and it really helped her. You know what she did? She helped her girlfriends. She told all her girlfriends about that grant, and they went and got it. Ultimately, if you see someone that has stress in the comments, that you see as clearly part of the Purple Power community, certainly reach out to them and offer any assistance you can, even just a chat. Make them feel welcomed and make them feel part of the family. Equally so, let's deal with the reverse. If there's someone that jumps in the comments, we're never going to get it, give that person a thumbs down. If there's someone that jumps in the comments and says, he's really obnoxious, I hate him, give him a thumbs down. And ultimately, if there's someone that's bothering you, report him. Send me a DM. Send me a private message. I get them all the time, and then you never see them ever again. That's the beauty of blocking people. Ultimately, it's important to understand that this is a family. And if someone doesn't want to be a part of the family, well, then there's the curve. We're all here. We're going to get through this together. It's going to be a great week. And I know that you're uncertain about what will happen tomorrow. But guess what? On Wednesday morning, I'm going to be right here. Same bat channel, same bat time. So, as always, go to the channel, subscribe. We're going to get through this together. And also like this video. I was going to go over some questions, but the video's going a little bit late. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and join me tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Early Mornings LALATE. Have a great evening.